I don't know if Will Smith has surgery on his hole or what, but that is tight.
How you know that?
He's saying that Will raped him, and he said Diddy made him suck his penis.
Will Smith has to be getting punished for something. Some type of ancestral karma, something. You were on top of the world, and then you find a way to have one of the craziest fall-offs ever. These new allegations are something vicious. You owe some lady that do voodoo like an apology or something. Over the last couple of years, Will Smith had his assistant or ex-assistant, ex-best friend, Bilal, come out with the most heinous things you could think of. Now, Bilal used to work with him, got fired, so you have to take what he says with a grain of salt. But the audacity. It made me feel like there might be a little bit of truth in there. The audacity that this man has is death-defying. In another life, this man could have been like Tom Cruise. This man could have been like Kick Buttowski or something. Just doing things that other people don't have the audacity to do. This man, Bilal, is coming out with atrocities that this man, Will Smith, is doing. If you want to play for the other team, that's nobody business. However, things take a dark turn. So Bilal came out and said that Will Smith and Diddy assaulted a young actor.
So I reached out to Charlie. I said, listen, I said, Yaz is going crazy. He's saying that Will raped him, and he said Diddy made him suck his penis.
He was in Empire. His name is Bryshear Yaz Gray. You guys probably recognize him. I remember not too long ago, I reacted to a video about him, and he done had to fall off of the century, I'm not gonna lie. And he's had plenty of mental health issues, things of that nature. So even if he came out and decided to say that all of this was true, not many people would believe him. He's currently on OnlyFans, I believe, doing things for the dudes type ish, you know what I'm saying? Even though he say he don't roll like that type ish. This cast of Empire had to be cursed. They had Jussie Smollett, you know, the dude that pretended that he got beat up and the people screamed, "It's MAGA country," and punched him in the face, did all that craziness. And then they have Terrence Howard, said that he broke the laws of physics. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 and it can equal 4. Like just some real crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? And then Bryshear, he just spirals out of control, you know, immediately after becoming famous. I don't know what they were giving them on that set, but them boys is cooked. Anyway, I don't know if I believe Bilal. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of seemed like he kind of be pulling shit out his ass. And he's saying that Will Smith is putting things in his... My bad. I ain't even need to go there. And it's like, did you always know these things and now you're just deciding to come out with certain things? So as far as it comes to the actual general public, this is pretty unverifiable. One thing we do have to understand is that Will and Jada said that they were going to sue this man years ago. And they never did it.
They ain't doing nothing. I told you before in my last interview, they ain't doing nothing. Will ain't doing nothing. Jada ain't doing nothing. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm going to let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember. Your wino's going to remember it. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do. Period. And I got to have evidence. So we not playing. That's why they didn't sue.
And there's a couple of different scenarios that would be the case. Because one, it's true and they would have to prove that these things aren't true in front of the courts. And then two, it's just such a blatant lie that they don't even want to give more fuel to the situation. But the things that Bilal is claiming just becomes more vociferous as this interview goes on. It sucks because I don't believe Bilal. However, it's just so good in the sense that we all have a narrative in our head about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's relationship. And because of that, we start to believe these things because we feel like their relationship is so messed up. You kind of validate, you know, Jada being addicted to porn and Will Smith smashing dudes.
Open the door to Dwayne's dressing room. Will was bent over on the couch and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder.
At this point, pay the nigga, bro. Whatever he want, pay this man, bro. Pay him off. Give him the money, hun. Give him the bag. It kind of starts to make more sense that maybe Jada actually does wear the pants in a relationship. And she wears the meat. It is so difficult to believe until you hear the other allegations. The detail that this man goes into talking about Jada's porn addiction is actually crazy.
Mine, She has her something called Tushi. It's like a pink cocaine thing. It's popular in Colombia as well too. But it's like you get this.
Ecstasy and cocaine.
Yeah, it's like that mix, right? It's big in Colombia, right? And she got her ayahuasca or whatever it is. And she got her mushrooms. So she got her psychedelics, all that stuff. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, and high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes.
Talking about strapping down, Will. Cracking Will.
There's Jada with a strap on top of Will. Then she's spitting in his face and choking him.
Even going into naming other people's names that he saw on these videos.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese was on there.
I'm so glad Tyrese ain't got no money to sue me right now.
And Charlie Mack was on there with Will. And allegedly, I would appear to be Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will, Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up, period. So when these tapes come out, people will know I'm telling the absolute truth.
And this is the point where a lot of this starts to fall apart in my head, because how can you name all these names? How long did you sit down to watch through these videos with Jada, her not paying attention? You say she on drugs, she on all whatever. Her not paying attention, you just sitting behind her watching the videos, watching everything. If I walk in on somebody and they doing something, of that nature, I'm walking out. How you naming names and how you talking about different vids and different positions and scenarios and ish, bro? It sound crazy to me. Either that or you was in on it. Either that or you was one of the ones being... Let me keep my conspiracy theories out of this. This is all damning enough, and we have more people coming out. All of these allegations are just stacking up against Will Smith. And then we have a dude saying that he consensually cracked Will Smith, bro. Let's roll the clip, man.
What about Will Smith? He being sued by one of his violinists.
Will is a freak.
How you know?
I don't know if Will Smith has surgery on his hole or what, but that is tight.
How you know that?
I was at Jamie Foxx's party. Will and I, we connected, and we didn't exchange numbers or anything, but we connected, and we went to the bathroom, and I did him in the butt.
And y'all didn't wear no protection?
He's such a sweetheart. Because after that, then ready to buy me the world.
Shit, call the lawyers!
I don't believe this one out a bit. I just can't in my head imagine that Will Smith gets with a dude at a party. You know what I'm saying? They don't exchange phone numbers. There's no proof. There's no, there's no text messages. There's nothing. And bro talking about he was ready to give him the world. Like, come on, bro. I'm not going for that. I don't believe that one, bro. Honestly, I don't believe none of it. I'm not gonna lie. I want to believe all of it because it's just messy and I got a problem. You know what I'm saying? When it's just the sheer amount of things stacking up against him, is almost like you kind of have to start to think to yourself, maybe this nigga ain't who we thought he was. And the things come to a boil because he actually has a sexual harassment lawsuit against him by a violinist.
Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was.
When it rains, it pours, and for whatever reason, Will Smith is paying for some type of karma that he had in his past. I want to believe it just because I'm messy, just because I got a problem, but I don't really believe it for real, you know what I mean? But would I be surprised? No, I would not be surprised whatsoever. I believe the industry is a very dark place. There's a lot of people with money and power, and when there's money and power, there's usually a lot of bullshit going on. The industry is filled with people that are very sexually deviant. It could be for many things, but one of them can be the fact that a lot of these people have done the deed with hundreds, thousands of people, and they've gotten to a point where this actual deviancy is now what gets them off. You know, they get high on power. They rather the feeling of power than the feeling of such and such. And it all comes down to being desensitized from real life and being introduced to too many experiences. But at this point, Will Smith needs to take all his money, put it in a bank overseas, and just disappear off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Just disappear into a different country and go try to live a regular life or something, bro. Because you're cooked. If all of this shit is real, you probably have a lot deeper, darker secrets out there. So, nigga, retire. But what I think doesn't matter. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.